All right, so joining us now on the talking point, Sanju Verma is national spokesperson of the BJP. George Khurian is political analyst and a member of the Congress party. Professor Sanjay Kumar is a phologist and co-director with Lokniti CSDS. Smita Prakash is editor of ANI. Sanju Verma, let me start with you. Clearly, I'd made that comparison between 2018 and 2023. Even after losing these three states, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and despite having 700 out of 1,500 MLAs at that time, the BJP the very next year, in fact within 6 months, came back with 177 MLAs out of 225. This time you have won these three states and you have 900 MLAs out of 1,545. Are you then expecting a 200-seat head start out of this 225 in the heartland states?
Zaka, first and foremost, thank you very much for putting facts in perspective. That was a brilliant introduction where you laid bare the numbers game with respect to, the states that went to polls a few days back. And of course, the results have been outstanding and astounding for the opposition. But let's, get into the details, because I always say the devil is in the details. Yes, the BJP has had a strike rate of 71% in Madhya Pradesh, a strike rate of 55% in Rajasthan, a strike rate of 60% in Chhattisgarh. By the way, no political pundit or so-called analyst got Chhattisgarh right. Everybody said, BJP ko 33 se 34, in that range. And, Bhupesh Baghel has done a phenomenal amount of work for the tribals. But like they say, pop punditry had to eat humble crow. Coming to the moot point, I do agree that the Mahila voter, who's been called the silent voter, I think that's a wrong terminology. The so-called silent voter has actively made her voice, be felt in the results that have ensued. But I think when you look at the kind of numbers that the BJP notched up in Madhya Pradesh, it's not, 113 or 114 or 120. Yeah. When you get something like 163, that is the number that I saw last, it's a tsunami. It basically means that you not only swept 9 out of the 9 seats in Indore, you got about 51 out of the 67 OBC seats in Madhya Pradesh. But there's been a tsunami in terms of the tribal vote share having risen phenomenally as well. So the limited point I'm making is, when you get the kind of numbers that the BJP did in Madhya Pradesh, it cannot simply be a pro-incumbency. It cannot simply be one sector or one sect of the electoral populace voting for the BJP. It is when there is an all-round consensus that humko dobara double engine sarkar chahiye. Yeah. It is only then that you can have the kind of rout that you see which the Congress faced, and the kind of tsunami in terms of endorsement which the BJP saw. That's my point number one. My point number two is, for all the political pundits who said after Karnataka, and we very humbly accepted the Karnataka verdict. We never went crying, sulking, whining, raving, ranting that EVMs are faulty, blah, 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 because that is not how BJP does things. Every Tom, Dick and Harry, I'm sorry for this phrase, but everyone and everyone's uncle said, Rahul Gandhi ne Karnataka mein kamal dikha diya. Bharat Jodo Yatra has finally come to fruition. If Bharat Jodo Yatra came to fruition in Karnataka, if Bharat Jodo Yatra is what you give credit to the Congress for its Telangana victory, then by virtue of the same logic, don't forget that Rahul Gandhi did spend a decent amount of time in Madhya Pradesh during his Bharat Jodo Yatra, and in 16 out of the 21 regions where he was campaigning during the Bharat Jodo Yatra, it is the BJP which has had a clean sweep. So clearly, if numbers are any indication, Bharat Jodo Yatra has had minimal impact in the Hindi heartland. That's my second point. But the most important point is this. I think, never take your voters for granted. And I think the electorate is so smart. They are not gullible anymore. That lollipop style politics ki, elections se pehle, hum aapko, lollipop dikha denge, jhunjhuna dikha denge. That's not working anymore, because don't forget that Rajasthan government reduced the price of gas cylinders to about 400 in 2022. And I remember on your debates, I've done a zillion debates on this, where every Congress spokesperson said, say you wait and watch. Ashok Gehlot will transform anti-incumbency into pro-incumbency because all our welfare schemes have done phenomenally well. So my third point is this: promising something, but actually going down to the brass tacks and delivering something. These are two completely different ballgames altogether.
Sure.
The Ladli Behna Yojana has delivered, whereas the Chiranjeevi scheme, etc., in Rajasthan has been a half-baked measure. So
Okay.
you need to deliver. You just can't make false promises and then sit back and say, sab kuch changa si.
Let me bring in George Khurian and then Smita Prakash after that. George Khurian, the problem is for the India alliance, you neither have a leader who is, forget about being as tall in stature as Prime Minister Modi, you don't have a leader who can even compete with him. That's one. People want to know who the Chehra is. You don't have one who can take on Modi. People want to know what is the alternative that you're offering. And so far, the only tangible alternative was these freebies, right? These guarantees. Again, people of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh have equivocally said, we don't want those freebies. And third and most important is a governance model, a delivery model. Even in Karnataka, where you promised these guarantees and you came to power, just in the last 6 months, we've seen how the state there is struggling to meet the financial implications of these guarantees. So the delivery model is also not there for you to show to the people of India. How then do you hope to compete and take on the might of the BJP?
Zaka, very good evening to you, to my co-panelists on this debate and to your audience. And I hope that you will offer me the same courtesy that you offered to Sanju Verma. And to Sanju Verma as well, please do not interrupt when I put forward my opening views on the show. I need 120 seconds of uninterrupted time here on the show. To begin with, Zaka, the elections, the results that has come, which the nation has seen, definitely it goes without saying that the Congress party is kind of demotivated, mainly the cadre here. But we are not convinced by the results that has come in the fore. Having said that, because the ground reality and the results, there is a big difference in the support base that the Congress party had on ground, be it in Madhya Pradesh, and we were hoping that we would repeat in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh with the pro-people policies that we have given to the people of both the states. And as far as Telangana is concerned, there was a Congress wave in Telangana which had so that is showing up. Having said that, there is no Modi magic as such. It's the EVM magic that has come to the play. Zaka, I heard your initial statistic that you put with the for the audience, be it the Mahila magic that you mentioned about the Modi factor and the Adivasi. It is important for the Bharatiya Janata Party to ensure that they change the EVM and put paper ballot, and we will see how convincingly the India Alliance will surpass the 400 mark. At this point in time,
I agree with the first part of what you said, but this whole EVM bogey, I mean, let's get over it, right? When Rahul Gandhi goes to Kerala and wins, you don't blame the EVM. When you win Karnataka just 6 months ago and it was a pretty emphatic victory, you don't blame the EVMs. Let's get on with this. I mean, because it's beginning to sound like a bit of a broken record. Let's get on to the next point. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just complete. So if it is going to be the EVM in 2024, let me put it for the audience benefit at large that the India Alliance will not surpass even 200 mark on its own, and it is going to be a guarantee, as you are mentioning, and the narrative is getting built. So there is no two ways about it.
Okay. Again, I don't find the EVM argument not even worth delving into that. But